Welcome to Innerji, Tarot Astrology and all things metaphysical. I'm Leslie Levy, and we're going to have a look at the Astro-Tarot for the week commencing Monday, the 9th of November. So let's have a little look at the astrology first, and then we'll go on to the Astro-Tarot and Tea Charm reading for the week. The sun is still in the sign of Scorpio, so that's fixed water. So this month continuing on until about the 22nd of November, we are going to be going deep within ourselves, deep within our own emotions, looking at maybe the shadow side of ourselves. We also have Mercury in Libra. So this is about finding balance in our communication this week. Now, Mercury moves into Scorpio midweek. So where we're going to move from is that wanting to communicate with other people, with that one other person in particular, and wanting to find balance in our communication. As we move into Scorpio with Mercury, then that communication style is going to be less open. It's going to be more quiet. And any conversations that do occur are going to be more of a deeper emotional level. We also have Venus in Libra for this month as well. Now, Venus rules Libra. So relationships, your dealings with others are going to continue to be important this week, and finding balance in those relationships, finding harmony is also going to be important. We still have Saturn and Jupiter in Capricorn, and they will be there until about the 3rd week of December. And they're conjunct, which means they're really close, they're next to each other. And so there's this push-pull relationship that goes on between Saturn and Jupiter. Saturn is restricting, it's about duty, responsibility. Jupiter is about expansiveness, generosity, being open, being out there. Now, Saturn rules Capricorn, so it is very strong in its home sign, but Jupiter is very weak in Capricorn. So really the feeling of restriction, that sense of boundaries is going to be much stronger than the sense of freedom and generosity and being expansive. So that will continue on until about that 3rd week in December. What else? Mars is still in Aries and it is still retrograde. So again, just have a look at what's going on around the world. People are more easy to open up in a more aggressive way. More outbursts, angry outbursts, frustration, all coming to the surface, all more easily fired up and put into action. So please, for this coming week, while Mars is still in retrograde in Aries, remember Mars rules Aries, so it's all about taking action. Please think before you act rashly. It is really important to take a little bit of time out, not to just react or respond, but to think things through and take the best course of action. At the moment, we have the moon in Leo, so the need to be seen, the need to play. So that's part of that frustration that we've all been feeling. You know, we just want to be a bit more lighthearted. You know, I think everybody's a bit over the pandemic. There's all sorts of things going on in the US with the elections at the moment. And so I think people just want to have a bit of fun. They just want to lighten up, that need with that moon in Leo. And just going through the week, the moon moves into Virgo on Tuesday. So you're going to start looking at the detail again. You're going to look at the details of things in your life, what you need to do. You're going to look at the tiny little things and analyze them and break them down. There's going to be a real need to do that. Yeah, I think overall this coming week astrologically, it is about looking deeply at your own emotions. It is about finding balance in communication in the first half of the week. The second half of the week, it's about maybe keeping some of that communication more private if you need to, sort of having more internal conversation with yourself with the Mercury going into Scorpio. Relationships, continuing to find balance and harmony, try and be the peacemaker. With the retrograde Aries and Mars, it's about not just combusting and reacting in an aggressive way. It's about thinking before you act. And of course, everything's still going to feel constricted with that Saturn in Capricorn, and with Jupiter in Capricorn being weak, the opportunity to be more expansive and be more out there is still quite restricted. So let's have a look now at our Astro Tarot reading for each sign of the zodiac. Shuffling the cards. Remember, as this is a general reading, please do take what resonates for you and disregard the rest. For each of the signs, you can pay more attention if your sun sign is there, if it's your moon or your ascendant. Let's see what we've got. So a card for Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Let's see what we have. Starting off with Aries. Aries, you have the Queen of Cups upright. The Queen of Cups is an ethereal energy. This is an energy that is quite intuitive, but you can see with this card, she's quite focused and can't see what's going on around her. And this is unusual for you, Aries, because you are usually just one to get out there and do things and not really go in depth a lot, not rely on your intuition a lot. So this card is saying to me that this coming week for you, Aries, particularly with Mars in Aries retrograde, you really need to take some time out to think before you act. Maybe tune into your intuition a little bit more. Cups are also about emotions. So this is about you being more emotionally aware of the impact of your actions this week on others. So it is about you toning it down, being aware of other people's needs as well as your own, and tuning into your emotional nature a whole lot more than you would normally do. Aries, let's draw a couple of charms for you to see what else we can glean for you for the coming week. So we've got the rocking horse and the snake. So for you, there is the opportunity to shed the old skin, because that's what snakes do. It's almost like they rebirth themselves by shedding the old skin and starting anew. And so I feel this week, if you tune into your emotions and not act quite so rashly, you will be able to start something new. You will be able to have a new beginning. And we have the rocking horse, and this is saying to me that it is about you lightening up as well. You know, you're a bit like you're a bit like, you know, the hero who rushes in to save the day. This is about you lightening up and playing a little bit more this week if you can, being a little bit more lighthearted, shedding the old way of being and looking at a new way of how you can live during this coming week. Looking at Taurus. Taurus, we have the Three of Pentacles reversed. You are fixed earth, you like structure, you like safety, you like security. And so with the Three of Pentacles reversed, this is saying to me that this is not the week for you to make any changes. This is the week for you to keep going ahead as you have been doing. When we see this card upright, it's about communication and about the physical things in life. You can see we've got the fellow up on the pedestal. He's kind of the master craftsman. And we have the clients, and they're discussing plans for renovation or for building. And so reversed, it's saying to me that this week is not the time to negotiate new plans. It's not the time to start anything new, particularly in the area of physical things. So whether it be renovating, whether it be building or some sort, with anything physical and tangible, this is not the week for you to start that. A couple of charms for you, Taurus. And we have the peacock and the fairy on the moon. There seems to be a general message coming through already this week in terms of the energy. It is about lightening up. Peacock, for you, it is about being seen a little bit more. You know, Taurus, you're quite happy embedded at home, quietly doing your own thing. You're a very quiet, peaceful character. But this week, you just need to shake your tail feather a little bit, open up those peacock feathers and let yourself be noticed a little bit more. And we've got the fairy on the moon, and this is saying to me that you need to lighten up as well. This is the theme that I'm getting for the entire week, with everything that's going on in the world, with the heavy energy of Saturn, with Mars retrograde in Aries. It is about trying to find the lighter side of life this week, and that really applies for you as well, Taurus. Moving on to Gemini. Gemini, you are mutable air, so you're the thinker, you think quickly, you're quick with ideas, you're good with communication, you're so adaptable. Mutable air, you're so adaptable with your opinions and what you think, and it can be sometimes hard to pin you down. This week for you, Gemini, we have the Page of Wands reversed. So for you, this seems to be another general message. No new beginning for you. Just keep doing what you're doing, but slow it down. Work at a slower pace. And you might find that things will be a little bit quieter for you this week in terms of messages and communication, because the Page of Wands is about messages and starting new small things. Wands are about fire, taking action. So I feel with this Page of Wands reversed that this week things are going to be a little bit slower on the communication front, and you can take advantage of that. Allow yourself the opportunity to slow down a little. And the charms we have for you, we have the Ship and we have the star sign of Leo. Again, slowing things down. Traditional sail ships travel slowly, and with the sign of Leo, it is about you having a bit of fun. Again, that energy of just lightening up this week, looking at the lighter side of life if you can, to just try and take away from all the heavy energy that is around. Moving on to Cancer. Cancer, you are cardinal water, emotions. It's all about emotion for you. And we have the King of Cups reversed. And this is saying to me that for you, Cancer, this week, you're going to be emotionally unstable. Your emotions are going to go from high to low and everywhere in between. It is going to be really hard for you to control your emotions this week. And so I feel that that's an area that perhaps you might need to focus on. Because your cardinal energy, it is really easy for you to have direct emotional outbursts. Most people see Cancer energy as soft and nurturing, and at its most positive it is, but when the emotions get out of balance, that's when a bit of that crab-like bite of the claws can come into play. So just be aware of your emotions this week. Again, with with Mars in Aries retrograde, there can be a tendency for you to emotionally lash out. So if you want to prevent any unnecessary confrontations, it really is, I say, breathe. Stop and breathe before you let loose emotionally, and make sure that what you need to say emotionally is warranted. A couple of charms for you. And we have the comb and the musical note. So for you, the musical note is, again, take it a little more easy. Sing your own song, but don't force it on anyone else. And the comb represents untangling things. So there might be a situation this week that is getting you emotionally upset. Now you need to untangle the facts of that situation before you emotionally respond or lash out. Looking at Leo. Leo, we have the sun for you. Now the sun is your ruling planet in your sign, and we have the sun reversed. So this coming week, you're not going to feel your usual happy self. You're going to feel a little less expansive. You're going to feel a little more serious, a little less fun. I just get the feeling that intuitively that, you know, the world as it is at the moment, with pandemic, with elections, with all sorts of things going on in the world, with that heavy energy, is really starting to bring you down this week. So really be careful of your own energy. Look inward rather than outward. And a couple of charms for you. And we have the butterfly and the dragon. I'll just bring those up so you can see them a little more clearly. Oops, here we go. So with the dragon and the butterfly, this is saying that this coming week, you've really got to stand in your own power. You've really not allow external energy drag you down, because this week you can make some good changes for yourself if you stand up for yourself. Really important. Moving on to Virgo. Virgo, you are mutable earth. So you're adaptable in a slow way. You're very earthy, so that means you're nurturing, but you're nurturing in a practical way because earth energy is about practicalities. And we have the Hierophant reversed. Now the message for you this week, Virgo, is to step outside the normal rules. You are good at following rules. You like rules. You like to know where you stand. But this week it is about breaking out. What's that old saying? Once you know the rules really well, you know how to break them. And I'm not saying you do anything awful or illegal, but it is about you being a little more creative and not just staying within the box that you normally live within. And a couple of charms for you, Virgo. And we have the seahorse and the starfish. So a bit of water element for you this coming week, Virgo. So this is saying to me, it is about looking at things more from an emotional perspective rather than from a practical perspective. And for you, that is breaking out of the box. So be more aware of where things are at emotionally, how things are affecting you emotionally rather than practically. And with Sun in Scorpio, that fixed water, this is a good week for you to really look deeply at your own emotions, look a little bit at your own shadow and see where you're at. Looking at Libra, the sign that requires balance, the sign that requires harmony. It's cardinal air, this charismatic sign when it's at its best. And for you, we have the Hanged Man reversed. So this is saying to me that for the coming week, you're not going to be seeing things from a different viewpoint. You're going to feel somewhat restricted in your outlook. And so this week it is about turning this card the right way out and seeing things from a new perspective. Now, you're normally very good at this. You're normally very good at seeing both sides of a situation. And I feel that this coming week, you might not be able to do that as easily as you normally can. So it is being really aware that you might be looking at things only from one viewpoint this week and making sure that you get yourself back into your Libra balance to be able to see both sides of the situation. And a couple of charms for you. And we have the Lady and the Four-Leafed Clover. So this is about female or a female energy in your life, and the clover obviously is about good fortune, good luck. So what this is saying to me is that this perspective that you're maybe not seeing from both sides is about a situation with another female or someone who has a more feminine energy. But the good news is if you can turn this card around and make it upright, see the other person's point of view as well as your own, it will work out for you in a very positive, happy way. Looking at Scorpio, happy birthday, Scorpio, it's your month. And we have the Seven of Cups reversed. So for you this week, there's one way ahead. There is no need to have lots of choices. There's no need to have a scattergun approach to whatever it is that you're doing this week. You really need to stick to one way forward, one path forward. Now, cups represent emotions. They represent intuition. Scorpio, you can have very deep intuitive insights. So this is saying to me that this week you really need to listen to your intuition, that intuition that comes from the deepest level of your being, and follow that through. A couple of charms for you, Scorpio. And we have the rainbow and the heart. So this intuition that you need to rely on to bring that one way forward is in regard to a love relationship. So you need to be more intuitive about your partner if you're in a relationship, or about a loved one in your family. And if you can tune in, trust your emotions, trust your intuition around that, you will have a good outcome with the rainbow. Moving on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, mutable fire. You like to be out there, you like to be doing, you like to be here, there and everywhere. And for you, that looks like it's going to be a possibility this week, albeit within COVID restrictions. But within that, you can be out and about. If it's not physically out and about, it can be out and about with via social media, catching up with friends online, that kind of thing. But there are small journeys for you this week, and emotionally you're going to be moving into a fairly calm week, because we can see here we've got troubled water here, we've got calm water here, but we're moving towards the calm. So for you, in regard to your thought processes, because swords are about communication, thinking processes, it is going to be a little more of a smooth journey for you this week. A couple of charms for you. And what do we have? We have the fox and the wine goblet. So Sagittarius, you can be somewhat prone to being overindulgent. Sagittarians can have this outlook that if something is good, more must be better. The lesson for you this week is less is more. It is about being a little bit smart, a little bit street smart about what you are doing in terms of your indulgences this week. So I could take it literally as in don't overdrink with that goblet there. COVID times can create a lot of bad habits, but it is about you not overindulging this week. And that way your week will travel more smoothly. Looking at Capricorn. Oh, Capricorn, bit of a tough week coming up for you. I feel that other people's opinions are going to really hurt. Remember I said swords are about communication, thinking ideas. So I feel that the barbs from other people are going to hurt you this week. People are going to be talking to you in this coming week, and it's going to hurt. They might be revealing truths that need to be said that might be hard to hear, or perhaps their opinions are not on track. But overall for you this coming week, Capricorn, communication is going to be difficult for you. But remember my old saying, forewarned is forearmed. Try not to take it to heart. Capricorn, you don't show your emotions easily. You are cardinal earth, so you're practical, you're big picture. And really, it is about just looking at what people are saying, taking on board what really rings true for you and disregarding the rest. A couple of charms for you. And we have the sign of Aries and the angel. What an interesting combination. This is saying to me that you have to take action on your intuition. Normally you are very analytical, you're very practical in your thoughts and the things that you do. But this coming week, you're going to take more of a fiery Aries approach and put some energy into trusting your intuition, trusting insights that you have that don't come from anything analytical, that don't come from facts. Because the angel is talking about intuition, about insights, about spiritual energy. So it is about you coming more from that perspective this week, looking at the bigger picture around what it is that people are saying to you. Looking at Aquarius. Aquarius, fixed air. So you are looking at your plans. You're looking at big picture plans this week. You can see he has the world in his hand. We've got fire with the wands here. So you are looking at what plans you are going to be making in order to take action in the future. So this is a good week for you to look at what it is that you want to do between now and the end of the year, is the feeling that I'm getting. Making some new plans about what it is you want to do. A couple of charms for you. And what do we have? We're getting lots of star sign charms today. So for you, we also have the heart and we have the sign of Libra. So I feel that the plans that you need to consider in order to take action is around a love relationship and finding balance in that love relationship once again. So this is about looking at your heart, looking at a relationship, seeing where it's out of balance and planning around what you can do to get it back into balance again. And finally, Pisces. Pisces, it's the love week for you. We've got the Lovers card. So Pisces, you're mutable water. You are so emotionally sensitive and empathetic, but this is a good week for you for love. Your love relationship, whatever it might be, It looks in balance, looks strong, looks good. A couple of charms around that to see what we have. And we have the giraffe and the house. So Pisces, for you, it is about looking at this wonderful love relationship in all its glory, looking at it from the big picture perspective, see it in its entirety as opposed to just different parts of the relationship. And it is about staying close to home with your loved one this week if you can, spending time with your loved one, sharing time with them, being really focused on your loved one. So a wonderful week for your relationship. I do hope this week's Astro-Tarot reading has been of help. Until next time, namaste.